Shalom, shalom. Want to give honor and glory to Yahweh B'Shem, Yahushua. We'll get back into the laws, okay? So it's back to the basic. Keep the law or perish. Deuteronomy 13 chapter, right? You should have your Bible, your Apocrypha. Let's get into it. Let's don't waste no time, right? Okay, let's go to Deuteronomy 13 and 1. Want Deuteronomy 13 and 1. Deuteronomy 13 and 1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and given thee a sign or a wonder. Verse 2. And the sign or the wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, Let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Verse 3. Thou shalt not hearken mean listen, unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams, for the Lord your Yahweh proveth you to know whether ye love the Lord your Yahweh with all your heart and with all your soul. Meaning the Lord set this up and put the spirit on the prophets to see if we are going to follow man or the Most High, to prove us. And just like Martin Luther King say, he had a dream that little Israelite boys and Edomite boys are going to hold hands, and the Lord set that up. But that is to prove you, and we are going to hearken to that man or hearken to the Most High, and you can be listening to everyone that say they have a dream, right? Let's go to Sirach 34 and 1. Let's go to Sirach 34 and 1. So we can't be hearkening to everyone to say they had a dream, right? Sirach 34 and 1. Sirach 34 and 1. The hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false, and false, and dreams lifted up fools, right? Meaning you can listen to every dream you have or what someone else had and take it to the heart, and consider it as if the Most High have sent it for your benefit. And certain dreams you get are just made. A certain dream you get is the resemblance of one thing to another, and you can listen to all of these types of dreams, right? Verse 2. Whoso regarded dreams is like him that catcheth at a shadow and followed it after the wind. Meaning we can catch the wind literally, and the wind do what it want to do and go where it want to go, and we can't catch it. So Deuteronomy 13 chapter is a law about dealing with dreams, and also Ecclesiasticus, better known as Sirach, goes to many precepts and statutes about those dreams to help you understand about Deuteronomy 13 chapter. Verse 3. This chapter 34 and 3. Okay? Sirach. And the vision of dreams is the resemblance of one thing to another, even as the likeness of a face to a face, right? Meaning sometimes dreams are just based it off of experience. And if you were hanging around someone all day and he pop up in your dream, and don't take that to heart. Let's drop down to verse 5. Divination and soothsaying, and dreams are vain, and the heart fainted it, as a woman heart is travail. Heart fainted it, meaning a brother saying, damn, I had this dream, and this has to be it, and I have to be the one to deliver us, and this is it, and no Yahushua, and this is it, and you are fastened it after the dream, saying, what do this mean? And you're having dreams about this and that, and saying maybe it means like a woman in travail, right? So let's go to Ecclesiastes 5 and 3. Let's still talk about these dreams, okay? Ecclesiastes in the Old Testament 5 and 3. Because these dreams come through the day-to-day life, right? Ecclesiastes 5 and 3. Ecclesiastes 5 and 3. For a dream cometh through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by multitude of words. Meaning, so these dreams come about what you are doing throughout your day-to-day life, and you might dream about a movie you watched that day. So all of these dreams don't mean nothing. So you have to be careful of all of these dreams because they don't mean nothing. And also you have folly dreams, and you have spiritual dreams and prophetic dreams, and you have to have discernment of these things, and you don't have to tell your dreams to everyone, and keep that between you and the Lord, and go to someone that you can trust that can interpret it to you. Now, it's going to be certain dreams that are going to be folly, but you will have these dreams that are sent to you from the Most High, and you know it through the Spirit. If you got beamed up in the chariot and the missiles hitting the earth, or you saw the angels, or you were running for your life in Jacob's trouble, and we were in the FEMA camp, or the vision of the kingdom of heaven, and these things happen, and you have visions and dreams, and the Most High can put you in a trance, and all these things can happen to men. And it tells you in number 24 chapter, and you can be sitting there like the brother eyes are open and look like the brother staring at you, but the Most High having them to see miracle things. But Jacob called it daydreaming nowadays, and you kind of zone out, and when you are seeing stuff on a low level, and that's a low level trance, right? Let's go to Genesis 41:30. Okay, then Pharaoh seen dreams. Okay, then Joseph interpreted it to him. Okay, let's go to it. Genesis 41 and 41:30. This is Genesis 41 and 30. This is Genesis 41:30, right? And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. Verse 31, and the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous. 32, and for that the dream was double unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by Yahweh, and Yahweh will shortly bring it to pass. Meaning, if you have the same dream twice in one night, and you best to believe that's going to come to pass with the Lord. And that is what Joseph told Pharaoh, that this is from the Lord, and you had it twice in one night, and we have to have discernment in this thing. Right, let's go to Daniel 2 and 1. Okay, because then Nebuchadnezzar, he had a dream, right? Okay, he had a dream. Okay, then Daniel interpreted to him. Did Daniel see a vision as well? Okay, let's go to it. Bear with me. Daniel. Daniel 2 and 1. All right, this is Daniel 2 and 1, okay? Daniel 2 and 1. And in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar dreamed the dreams wherewith his spirit was troubled, and his sleep a break from him. Meaning, the Lord can trouble you with your dreams, like nightmares and scary vision and things that will make you wake up at night and be sweating and shivering, and all dreams are not pleasant dreams. Right, verse 2. Then Then the king commanded to call the magicians and the astrologers and the sorcerers and the Chaldeans for to shew the king his dreams. So they came and stood before the king. Verse 3, and the king said unto them, I have dreamed a dream, and my spirit was troubled there to know the dream. Meaning the king told them that he's not telling them the dream because he wanted them to break it down to him. Let's drop down to verse 16. Okay. Drop down to verse 16. All right. Verse 16, then Daniel went in and desired of the king that he would give him time and that he would shew the king the interpretation. Right. Verse 17, then Daniel went to his house and made the thing known to Hananiah, and Mishael, and Azariah, his companions. Verse 18, that they would desire mercies of the Yahweh of heaven concerning this secret, that Daniel and his fellows should not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. Verse 19, then was the secret read again. Verse 19, then was the secret revealed unto Daniel in a night vision. Then Daniel blessed the Yahweh of heaven, meaning the Most High can give you a vision to keep you out of trouble, and you can see something come and saying, I have a dream about this going to happen, and the next thing you know it has happened, and you have to be wary of these dreams. And if it comes to you two times in the night, it is the Lord. So you have nightmares, prophetic dreams, or deja vu dreams, or folly dreams, and it is a multitude of business when you are dealing with dreams. Right. So let's go to Ezra's, second Ezra's, okay, 12 and 3. Because the Most High can give such powerful vision in a dream, right? Second Ezra's. And 3. Second Ezra 12 and 3. As I saw, and behold, they appeared no more, and the whole body of the eagle was let me read that again. And I saw, this is second Ezra 12 and 3. And I saw, and behold, they appeared no more, and the whole body of the eagle was burnt, so that the earth was in great fear. Then awaked I out of the trouble and trance of my mind, and from great fear, and said unto my spirit. Verse 4, lo, this hast thou done unto me, in that thou searchest out the ways of the highest. Verse 5, lo, yet am I weary in my mind, and very weak in my spirit, and little strength is there in me, for the great fear wherewith I was affrighted this night. Right, meaning the Most High can give you such a powerful vision in a dream, and you wake up and you physically feel weak and sick, and you had that deep prophetic dream, and you have a migraine headache, and the light comes on, and you are hurt because your flesh has to have that time to recover from being overwhelmed by the Most High Spirit, and your flesh can't keep up with your spirit. So the Most High kind of overpower your spirit in the night, and your flesh is trying to figure out what's going on, and it is a short circuit, and then you are sick and wake up, and then you have to deal with it. And also it tells you in Daniel 8 chapter, and Daniel had a vision of the he-goat and a ram and two horns in the Medes and Persian Empire, and Antiochus woke up, and he was sick for certain days and fainted, and he passed out. Right. So let's go back to Deuteronomy. Back to Deuteronomy 13 and 4. Deuteronomy 13 and 4. Ye shall walk after the Lord your God, and fear him, and keep his commandments, and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him, and cleave unto him. Verse 5. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he has spoken to turn you away from the Lord your Yahweh, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust thee out of the way which the Lord thy Yahweh commanded thee to walk in. So shalt thou put the evil way from the midst of thee. Right, meaning the Lord had this brother to have a false dream to deceive you, just so he can see what you are going to do. But after he done with that brother, he's going to kill him, and he will just use him, and the Most High can do whatever he want to do. Right. So let's go to Ezekiel 14 and 9. Right. Right. Because the Most High, right, he can deceive you, make you believe a lie, right? Ezekiel 14 and 9. Because the Most High deceive people, all right? Ezekiel 14 and 9. Ezekiel 14 and 9. And if the prophet be deceived it, when he has spoken a thing, I, the Lord, have deceived it, that prophet, and I will stretch out my hand upon him, and will destroy him from the midst of my people Israel. Verse 10. And they shall bear the punishment of their iniquity. The punishment of the prophet shall be even as the punishment of him that seeketh unto him. Right, meaning the Most High can create a brother to believe a lie, a prophecy, and if you believe that confusion, and he was created to believe, and also everyone that are in the Christian church, they were created to go that way, and just so the Most High can judge them according to the law. Right. So the Most High always have a reason to destroy you, right? Let's go to Job 4 and 7. Job 4 and 7. Remember, just Job 4 and 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished it being innocent, or where the righteous cut off, meaning it has to be a reason that the Lord destroy you, and you have to be a wicked man or a sinner, and somebody that breaking the law from both sides to validate his destruction on you in righteousness. And the Lord created all these snares and traps in the world, and philosophies and lies, so man can have a way to believe it, just so the Most High can kill you. Right. Let's go to 1 Kings 22 and 5. Right. So let's talk about the wicked prophets. Okay. First Kings 22 and 5. Give another example about the wicked prophets. 22 and 5. Okay. Most High have a reason to destroy you, right? It's 1 Kings 22 and 5. And Jehoshaphat said unto the king of Israel, Inquire, I pray thee, at the word of the Lord today. Verse 6, Then the king of Israel gathered the prophets together, about 400 men, and said unto them, Shall I go against Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear? And they said, Go up, for the Lord shall deliver it into the hand of the king. Verse 7, And Jehoshaphat said, Is there not here a prophet of the Lord, besides that we might inquire of him? Verse 8. And the king, and the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, there is yet one man, Micaiah, the son of Imlah, by whom we may inquire of the Lord, but I hate him, for he do not prophesy good concerning me, but evil. And Jehoshaphat said, let not the king say so, meaning the king hated the prophet, and all this prophet does is say evil things, and Ahab was going off, and the king didn't want him around because that's all he was doing, is speaking illness of me. And the king wanted those prophets around that made him feel good, so he can walk away smiling after this. Verse 9. Then the king of Israel called an officer and said, hasten hither, Micaiah, the son of Imlah. Right? Verse 10. And the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, sat each on his throne, having put on their robes in a void place in the entrance of the gate of Samaria, and all the prophets prophesied before them. Verse 11. And Zedekiah, the son of Chenaanah, made him horns of iron, and he said, thus said the Lord, with these shalt thou push the Syrians until thou hast consumed them. Meaning, you see how these wicked prophets was willing to see how far can they go, and he wanted to make two horns of iron and say, this is how you going to really defeat the people. And he was lying. And just like in Christianity today, when the preachers take their jackets off and swing it across the room of the people, and they are falling back like this and touching people and doing the spiritual power, and they were doing all of this back then as well. And who made them do that? The Lord made them to do that, just so everyone can believe a lie. Right? Let's drop down to verse 30. Okay? Drop down to verse 30. And the king, verse 30. This is 1 King 22 and 30. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, I will discuss myself and enter into the battle, but put thou on thy robe. And the king of Israel disgusted himself and went into the battle. Verse 31. But the king of Assyria commanded his 32 captains that had ruled over his chariot, saying, fight neither wills with the small nor great, save only with the king of Israel. 32. And it came to pass, when the captains of the chariots saw Jehoshaphat, that they said, surely it is the king of Israel, and they turned it aside to fight against him. And Jehoshaphat cried it out. Verse 33. And it came to pass, when the captain of the chariots perceived that it was not the king of Israel, that they turned it back from pursuing him. Verse 34. And a certain man drew a bow at a venture, and smote the king of Israel between the joint of the harness. Wherefore he said unto the driver of his chariot, turn thy hand and carry me out of the host, for I am wounded. Meaning he got put to death for listening to the false prophet. Right? Verse 35. And the battle increased it that day, and the king was stayed up in his chariot against these Syrians, and died at even, and the blood ran out of the womb into the midst of the chariot. Verse 36. And there went a proclamation throughout the host about the going down of the sun, saying, every man to his city, and every man to his own country. 37. So the king died and was brought to Samaria, and they buried the king in Samaria, meaning the king got put to death for listening to the false prophet. And also it's a commandment that we supposed to put false prophets to death, and you can do it now, but spiritually we have to flee from that evil and get away from them, because you might listen to them and believe that folly and carry it with you, and it will spread on the other brothers. And that is how false doctrines spread, and people start saying we can't eat meat, and it will spread like cancer on the whole congregation. Right. So we, if we don't know the accounts, what's going on, we're gonna fall for anything. So that's why we got studies show ourselves approved. Even me, I got to still study more, okay, to show myself approval, because somebody can come up to me with a false doctrine and I don't know what's going on, right, then I'm gonna end up believing it. So we got to show ourselves approval, right? Let's go to it. Second Timothy 2:15. Okay. 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Meaning you are not studying and someone is breaking it down to you, and you are going to fall for it, and you are going to get caught up out there, and you won't be able to prove it because you don't read or study. And you have to go in the law, history, geography, prophecy, the milk, the meat, the Hebrew map, and you have to get into this thing. Verse 16, but shun profane and vain babbling, for they will increase unto more ungodliness. Verse 17, and their words will eat as dew. Slacky. Read that again. And their words will eat as dew, a canker, slacky, of whom is Hymenaeus, slacky, and Philetus, slacky. Verse 18, who concerning the truth have erred, saying that the resurrection is past already, and overthrew the faith of some. Meaning these brothers were going the hell off and saying Yahushua have came back already, and you don't have to wait. And they were teaching that back then, and the Lord said that word is eating like a canker, and a lot of people were getting caught up in that doctrine and believing in it. And also canker in the green word, it means gangrene, and gangrene is a flesh-eating disease, and it will start at your toes and consume your foot and your legs, and then it will destroy your whole body. And that's how them doctrines will do you, and slowly get one brother at a camp, and then another brother, and then the teacher, and then it will destroy the whole congregation. And that's how doctrines work, right? So let's go back to Deuteronomy 13 chapter. and 6. Deuteronomy 13:6. If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son, or thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is as thy own soul, entice thee secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which thou hast not known, thou nor thy fathers. Verse 7, namely of the gods of the people which are round about you, nigh unto thee, or far off from thee, from the one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. Verse 8, thou shalt thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him, neither shall thy eye pity him, neither shalt thou spare, neither shalt thou conceal him. Right, meaning Meaning the Lord said, anybody that you know, your woman, brother, mother, sister, uncle, anyone that entice you to go and serve other gods and break the Sabbath day, and you listen to them, that got you to go work on the Sabbath or help them move something or give a person a jump on their car or motorcycle, or have you to smoke weed, and you can let them entice you and conceal, meaning you can keep it a secret, right? That's verse 9. But it's lucky, but thou shalt surely kill him, thy hand shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hand of all the people. Right, meaning the Lord said you have to kill them, and once they finish saying what they have to say about the wickedness they are trying to get you to do, and you pick up a stone and stone him to death, and you have to call everybody over for they can witness what he did, and they all have to put him to death. But the brother that told him the wickedness, and he has to be the first brother to put his hands on him. And it don't matter if it's your mother, and if she tried to get you to sin, and you have to put her to death for the Lord. And it's not like that now like it was in the ancient days, but it will be like that in the kingdom. People getting put to death for breaking the law, statutes, and commandments. Right. So let's go to Leviticus 5:1. All right. Because if a brother try to get me to do something, man, I gotta say something to him, okay? If not, man, that sin is on me. All right, well, let's go to it. Leviticus 5:1. Leviticus 5:1. And if a soul sin and heard the voice of swearing and is a witness whether he has seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity. Right, meaning if the brother is going off and you know it and you don't say anything, then you are bearing that sin, and you have to speak up in righteousness and correct him, and that's how you keep your brother out of sin. Right, that's how you keep your brother out of sin. Right. So let's go to 1 Corinthians 6:1, okay? Because, say for example, if me and a brother, we disagreeing on something, we disagreeing on something, well, okay, we need to go to the law, okay? No, right, not going out there to the world, to Esau, okay? Go call him. We need to go to the law. Let's go to it. We need to go to the law to handle it, okay? We need to handle it by going to the law. 1 Corinthians 6:1, okay? Dare any of you having a matter against another, go to the law before the judge and not before the saints. Right, meaning the Lord saying is, if there a matter in the congregation, don't go to the damn devil, government, and the unbelievers, but work it out in house. And we Israelites have a problem with each other, and we have to go to the law. And for example, if a brother hit me upside the head and I have to pay a bill to get stitches, and now we have to go to the law in Exodus 21 chapter and 22 chapter, and the brother have to compensate for hitting me upside the head. Right, let's give another example, okay? All right, let's go to John 18:29, okay? Because we can't be running to them devils, okay? They don't know our law, all right? This is a prime example. This account right here, John 18:29, 30 and 31, is showing you, okay? Right. They don't know our law, all right? So how can we go to the, I get into it with my brother in the truth, but I'm going to go call the police on him? That would make no sense, okay? Right. That would make no sense at all. Because they don't know our law, all right? This is John 18, started 29. All right, this pallet, this punchy pallet. It's an Edomite, so-called white man. All right. He's letting you know, I don't know your laws. Okay. Let's get into it. All right. This is John 18:29. Pilate then went out unto them and said, what accusation bring ye against this man? Meaning the same concept. Why did you deliver your brother to them Edomites and take him to the police station? And them Edomites asking you, why did you bring him down here? And what did he do? And it's the same concept, and that's how our people delivered the Lord up to them Edomites. Verse 30, they answered it and said unto him, if he were not a malefactor means an evildoer, he's an evildoer, okay, we would not have delivered him up unto thee. Meaning they just wanted him delivered up, and they don't have no reason to deliver him up, and just saying he's a bad guy and that's why he is here and he's evil, and that's how they brought charges on Yahushua. And our people had no valid reason. They said if he were not a malefactor, meaning being an evildoer, we would not have delivered him up to Pilate. And the same concept, if you deliver your brother to the police station and they ask you what have he done, and you and your brother say I hate my brother, and that's the same thing going on in John the 18th chapter, right? That's verse 31. Then, it's like he then said, Pilate unto them, take you him and judge him according to your law. You hear that? Judge him according to your law. They don't know our laws, okay? Right. The Jews, it's like the Jews therefore said unto him, it is not lawful for us to put any man to death. All right, meaning even the Edomites are saying back then, judge him according to your law. And why are you bringing him to me? I'm an Edomite, the damn devil. I don't know your law. And that's pretty much what he is saying. And you can expect them Edomites to judge a matter biblically when he's not keeping one commandment, because he don't know the law. And you can expect Esau to tell you to go apply Matthew 18:15 chapter on down. And also our people want to kill Yahushua, but they said it is not lawful for us to put any man to death, because you could not commit capital punishment on behalf of the Roman during that time. And if there was any form of capital punishment and you had to allow the Romans to do it, and it were a certain incident when the Jews went off, like it tells you in John 8 chapter, and they asked Yahushua, can they stone this woman? And they were trying to trip him up. And if Yahushua would have said yes, and they would have given Yahushua to the Romans, right? Let's go back to it. Let's get back to the Deuteronomy 13 chapter. Deuteronomy 13, I think verse 10. I think I'm at verse 10. Deuteronomy 13:10. Okay. And thou shalt stone him with stones that he die, because he has sought to thrust thee away from the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. Meaning you got stoned to death back then in the ancient days. And that's coming back when we are in the kingdom, and the other nations are going off and they will get stoned to death, and we are going to have spiritual power to do it and throw a rock. Right, verse 11. And all Israel shall hear and fear. So I can read that again. It's Deuteronomy 13:11. And all Israel shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such a wickedness as this is among you. Verse 12. If thou shalt hear say in one of thy cities, which the Lord thy Yahweh have given thee to dwell there, saying, verse 13, certain men, the children of Belial, Slaki, are gone out from among you, and have withdrawn the inhabitants of their city, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which ye have not known. Verse 14, then shalt thou inquire and make search and ask diligently, and behold, if it be true, and the thing certain, that such abomination is wrought among you. Verse 15. Thou shalt surely smite the inhabitants of that city with the edge of the sword, destroying it utterly, and all that is therein, and the cattle thereof with the edge of the sword. Meaning every city in America should be destroyed, or any city that these other nations have. And why the Lord is coming to destroy the earth? Because it's a part of the law, and these other nations are breaking the commandments, and the Lord is judging every man according to his work. Right. Let's go to additional Esther 16 and 24. Because these cities and countries should be destroyed. Let's go to it. Edition of Esther 16:24. Here we go. Edition of Esther 16. Edition of Esther 16 and 24. Okay. Therefore, every city and country whatsoever which shall not do according to these things. Read that again. This is this is Edition of Esther 16:24. Therefore, every city and country whatsoever which shall not do according to these things shall be destroyed without mercy, with fire and sword, and shall be made not only unpassable for men, but also most hateful to wild beasts and fowls forever. Fowls forever, right? Meaning, if you are a nation and you don't do according to these things, and you are going to be destroyed without mercy. And we are going to inquire diligently first according to the law. And when we are in the kingdom, and we have to tell the apostle that the Moabites don't want to keep the feast of dedication, and they have a false god set up, and the apostle might tell us to take 20,000 chariots and 50,000 mighty men and go figure it out. And you have to go see what's going on and talk to the elders, Moabites. And if they say they did it, and we are tired of serving you Israelites, and we have to go take that report back to the Most High, and the Most High will say, go destroy them utterly, and all the other nations are going to hear about it, and they are going to know about what them Moabites did that day. And we are keeping the law, and you are going to have that law in your inward parts. And in Deuteronomy 13 chapter 2, require diligently a part and the concerning these matter when these cities are going off. Right. Let's go to Isaiah 60 and 12, okay? Let's talk about the kingdom. When we're in the kingdom and these other nations, okay? They don't want to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. It's Isaiah 60 and 20. Isaiah 60 and 12. Isaiah 60 and 12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. Meaning that's talking about in the kingdom. And if them nations don't keep the law, and they want to do what they want to do, and they have to get put to death. Right. Let's go to, stay in Isaiah, let's go to 66, okay? Isaiah 66 and 22. For as the new heavens and the new earth which I will make shall remain before me, said the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain. Verse 23. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, said the Lord. Verse 24. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcass of the men that have transgressed against me, for their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh. Right, meaning they are going to die. Right. So let's go to Psalms. Let's go to Psalms 22 and 9. Okay. All right. It's talking about Esau, because they living fat on the earth, right? But they still, it's 22 and 9, right? So they living fat on the earth, but everyone's still gonna bow down to the Most High, right? That's Psalm 22, okay, 22 and 27, okay. The Psalms 22 and 27. All the ends of the world. All the ends of the world shall remember and turn into the Lord, and all the kindreds of the nations shall worship before thee. Verse 28. And the kingdom is the Lord's, and he is the governor among the nation. 29. All they that be fat upon the earth shall eat and worship. All they that go down to the dust shall bow before him, and none can keep alive his own soul. Right, meaning everyone that's fat on the earth, wealthy, and they may have islands and lands, companies, cars, homes, etc., and everyone that is poor and rich are going to bow down to the Lord. Right. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 13, 15, 16, verse 16. Verse 16. And thou, verse 16, and thou shalt gather all the spoils of it into the midst of the street thereof, and shall burn with fire the city, and all the spoils thereof every whit for the Lord thy Yahweh, and it shall be a heap. It be an heap forever, it shall not be built again. Right, meaning all of these cities are supposed to be destroyed and never built again, and that's why Babylon isn't going to be built again. And it tells you in Micah 1 and 4, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord had a indignation forever. Right, let's go to Deuteronomy 7 and 1. Okay. Right, let's talk about these dirty Hamites. All right, what the Most High saying, we need to be strong. How we will destroy them. Okay, this Deuteronomy 7:1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Gershites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. Verse 2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor shew mercy unto them. Meaning the Lord said to destroy these dirty Hamites and beat them in the dust and make no covenant with them. And this is the law, and we can't have any covenant with them. And you are in sin if you are with them, and we are not making any peace treaty with them or love covenant with them. Right, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them, thy daughter thou shalt not give unto him, give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other God, so will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. Verse 5, but thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altar and break down their images and cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire. Right, meaning we supposed to be destroying all these churches and all these false idols they have put up, even the Black Lives statues and the George Floyd statue, and we supposed to destroy all these images because the Lord wants us to, but it is a time and season for everything, and we are slowly approaching that hunting season, and we are going to be destroying nations and beating them down and cutting their toes off and their heads, etc. And just like Joshua did to the 7 nations, and the same way we are going to do to these other nations today. And the scripture said we are going to beat them down to 1,000 pieces with a rod of iron. Right. So, right. Because when we beat them down, all right, they can be crying to the Most High, but the Most High ain't no hear them, right? Ain't no hear them. Let's go to it. Let's go to Psalms 18 and 40. Psalms 18 and 40. Psalms 18 and 40. This is Psalms 18 and 40, okay? Thou hast also given me the neck of my enemies, that I might destroy them that hate me. Verse 41. They cried, but there was none to save them, even unto the Lord, but he answered them not. They cried, meaning the heathen cried it, and the Lord didn't answer them, and the Lord isn't going to save them. Right, verse 42. Okay, verse 42. Then did I beat them small as the dust before the wind. I did cast them out as the dirt in the street. Right, meaning that's literally he cast them out as the dirt in the streets, and that's not a metaphor. And we are literally going to beat the people small as the dust, and smashing their face in with your fist, and smashing their skulls with your sword, and then you're kind of kicking these dust, and it's going to be blood all on you. And also the Lord said we are going to be dancing in the blood of the wicked, and our feet drenched it in blood. Right. Now then he said in Zechariah 13 and 8, meaning 12 and 8, that we're gonna have, you know, we're gonna be like King David. Okay, we're gonna be like a God, right? Let's go to it. Zechariah 13 and 8. So we're gonna be like gods in that. We're gonna be like King David, like a God, like gods in that day, right? This is Zechariah 12, verse 3, 12 and 3. And in that day will I make Jerusalem a bursome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it. Drop down to verse 8. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord before them. Right, meaning this, when we are taking the nations down, and we are going to be like King David in that day, and it don't matter how feeble or short or tall are you. And King David slew thousands of people, and also the women had songs about King David and about us, the Israelite killing them Hamites, and our Eves used to sing about us killing all them other nations, and our women used to sing songs about King David killing 10,000 of people. And it says the house of David were going to be like God, meaning we are going to have the power like the Lord. We are going to be like unstoppable, and in those days we are going to be like God. Right, let's go back to Deuteronomy 13. I think we're on 17 now. 17. Deuteronomy 13 and 17. Thou mayest not eat within thy gate the, wrong page, slacky. This is Deuteronomy 13 and 17. And there shall cleave not of the cursed thing to thine hand, that the Lord may turn from the fierceness of his anger, and shew thee mercy, and have compassion upon thee, and multiply thee as he had sworn unto thy fathers. Cursed thing meaning an idol or anything. And when you read Joshua 3, 4, 5, 6 chapter, the siege of Jericho, and Achan took the Babylonian garment and a wedge of gold, and that is the accursed thing. And the same concept, if you have that Caesar Borgias on your wall at home, and that is a cursed thing, and you wonder why that your parents are always arguing and the house is falling apart and it's a leak in there, and that is an accursed thing. And if you have them African masks in your house, and them are idols, and all of that stuff is a cursed thing, and that is why you have these snares in your household, and people are falling out the truth, people dying, and their sons are getting shot. Right, because Achan, you know about the story, in Joshua, Achan, he took that Babylonian garment, and them shekel of silver. Okay, so he got a bad name in Israel. Okay, let's go to it. That's First Chronicle. He had a bad name forever in Israel, right? That's First Chronicles 2 and 7. Achan, okay, he's from the tribe of Judah, so he'd be a so-called American black if he was living today. Okay. Let's go to First Chronicles 2 and 7. All right, this is First Chronicles 2 and 7. Okay. And the sons of Carmi, H.R., Slacky, the troubler of Israel, who transgressed it in the things accursed it. Right, meaning he have a bad name forever and will always be known as the troubler of Israel, because he brought the accursed thing, and it's hundreds of years after the time of Joshua. And this guy Achan, he's still known as the troubler of Israel forever. And the point is, this man had a cursed thing, and never bring a cursed thing in your house. And if someone give you a stone and say it's a lucky stone and it will give you a good job, now bring that cursed thing, and now you're getting fired. And also a graven image is a cursed thing, or any heathen idolatry you bring in your house, and all hell is going to break loose. Right, let's talk about Chan. Let's talk about this, what he did. Okay, let's go with Joshua 7 and 17. Okay, how what he was getting our people, destroyed because what he did. Okay, Joshua's name, they was getting the men's, they was getting killed. Okay, it was a cursed thing. Okay, the Most High told Joshua, it's a cursed thing among you. Paraphrasing. Let's go to 7. And 17. Okay. Joshua 7 and 17. Okay. And he brought the family of Judah, and he took the family of the Zorhites, and he brought the family of the Zorhites man by man, and Zabdi was taken. Verse 18. And he brought his household man by man, and Achan the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah of the tribe of Judah, was taken. Verse 19. And Joshua said unto Achan, my son, give, I pray thee, glory to the Lord God of Israel, and make confession unto him, and tell me now what thou hast done. Hide it not from me. Right. Meaning Israel went to battle, and they lost the battle. And Joshua asked the Lord, why are we doing all of this conquering and allowing us to get killed? And the Lord told Joshua, you have a man in your camp that causing someone to die, and cast a lot, and the lot fell on Judah and fell on this house, and it taken a man by man, and to figure out who did this. Verse 20. And Achan answered Joshua and said, indeed, I have sinned against the Lord God of Israel, and thus have I done. When verse 21, when I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonish garment, and 200 shekels of silver, and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight, then I conveyed it them, and took them, and behold, they are hid in the earth, in the midst of my tent, and the silver under it. Verse 22. And Joshua sent messenger, and they ran unto the tent, and behold, it was hid in his tent, and the silver under it. Verse 23. And they took them out of the midst of the tent, and brought them unto Joshua and unto all the children of Israel, and laid them out before the Lord. Verse 24. And Joshua and all Israel with him took Achan the son of Zerah, and the silver, and the garment, and the wedge of gold, and his sons, and his daughters, and his oxen, and his ox, and his asses, and his sheep, and his tent, and all that he had, and they brought them unto the valley of Achor. Verse 25. And Joshua said, why hast thou troubled us? The Lord shall trouble thee this day. And all Israel stoned him with stones, and burned them with fire, after they had stoned them with stones. Verse 26. And they raised it over him a great heap of stones unto this day. So the Lord turned it from the fierceness of his anger, wherefore the name of that place was called the valley of Achor unto this day. Meaning they stoned them and burnt them with fire, and they stoned them again, and his sons, and his daughters, and his oxen, sheep, and cattle, because of this man. And you see what happened when you are out of order, and you're thinking you are doing your own thing, and you are bringing doctrine to the congregation, and your whole family fall out, and you mess up the whole body of men, and the Lord killed everybody. And we have to hold ourselves diligently and to fear the Lord, or our house will be overthrown. And that's Sirach 27:3. So we have to be on fire, or our house can be plucked up by the Lord. Your wife, son, daughter, your rent is sky high, and you're getting evicted. Your car breaking down, getting fired because you decide you didn't want to read that day, and you decide you want to bring a cursed thing in your house. And also you have a spiritual Babylonian garment, meaning their ways and custom of Babylon that we live in, and cover the riches of this world. And also back in the ancient world, they had that physical Babylonian garment. Right, let's go back to Deuteronomy 13 and 18. This is Deuteronomy 13 and 18. When thou shalt hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep all his commandments, of which I command thee this day, to do that which is right in the eyes of the Lord thy God. Right. So that's Deuteronomy 13 chapter, right? So keeping the law of parish, all right? All right, so I want to give honor and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua. Shalom.